Coming up on The Returned.
And my spiritual transformation, major spiritual transformation happened. I would do 8 grams of mushrooms. Maybe I hear a message. Maybe I see something. I was dead on my ropes. Like that's, I'm like, either I do this because I haven't, nothing else has worked. So I really wanted to know if this could work. I've heard that larger doses of mushrooms gets you into a more of a spiritual state. So I said, okay. I bought a bag of mushrooms, the 8 grams. I made my partner be a trip sitter. I was fine because I was like, 8 grams, just in case. I don't want to go over the deep end. I live in a small apartment. One of the cops come knocking on my door. Already in Ottawa. I don't want that. And all of a sudden,
Hi, and welcome to The Returned. Here's to everything we'll discover together. Hi, and welcome to The Returned, a place where we share near-death stories, out-of-body experiences, spiritual awakenings, signs from spirit, and the journeys of healers and lightworkers from around the world. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like, subscribe, and share. Today, I am honored to welcome Johnadeen Albertini. John's path is anything but ordinary. From a young age, his curiosity about philosophy and religion led him to question the nature of existence. But it was a transformative plant medicine journey that would shatter everything he thought he knew about reality and open the doors to much deeper spiritual awakening. Welcome to The Returned, Johnadeen.
yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be here. This is awesome. So I
Oh,
will
you're
tell you,
very welcome.
yeah, I'll go into sort of my spiritual journey and what has happened to me. And honestly, it's been like a year and a bit, like last year and then
Wow.
this, but I will tell you what happened. So
Before you go into that, would you mind maybe describing your outlook on life at that time prior to
yeah,
your your experience?
yeah, prior to my experience, before my experience, I was kind of, I would say like sort of morose, sort of depressed, right? And I really was feeling sad. I had some traumas that happened in the past, right? And I'm still trying to wrestle with this even today, right? But
Mhm.
I felt this intense guilt and shame and all the various aspects of depression. So I knew I wanted to do something about this, and I knew that like magic mushrooms have helped me in the past, right? So I decided to take those mushrooms, and this is when my spiritual transformation, major spiritual transformation happened. I I went to there's a mushroom store on Bank Street in Ottawa that I typically visit when I want my mushrooms. So I decided I would do 8 grams of mushrooms in the night and see what would that do. Maybe I hear a message. Maybe I see something. I was dead on my ropes. Like that's, I'm like, either I do this because I haven't, nothing else has worked. So I really wanted to know if this could work because I've heard that larger doses of mushrooms gets you into a more of a spiritual state. So I said, okay. I, I, I bought a bag of mushrooms, the 8 grams. I made my partner be a trip sitter. So I was fine because I was like, 8 grams, just in case. Like, I don't want to go over the deep end, because I live in a small apartment. I don't want the cops come knocking on my door going, what? because I'm already in Ottawa. I don't want that. So I said,
Yeah.
so so my partner and I were watching TV, and I was slowly eating the mushrooms, and we were smoking a little bit of marijuana to keep myself calm as well too. And then I was like, oh man, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. I'm watching this TV, and all of a sudden, I hear this beautiful choir. This choir is beautiful, and they're singing this song, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Thoughts create reality. And then I'm seeing visions of my whole life flashing by when I'm reading books like Conversations with God. I'm hearing mentors from my past saying, "Oh, you should really focus." I'm seeing an experience where this shaman, when I was super depressed in my 20s, I met in Starbucks, came over to me and we started having conversation. And he was like, "Oh, boy, by the way, remember, thoughts create reality." And I'm seeing all these little things. I'm seeing Jesus on dying on the cross. And I'm like, this is wild. This is wild. So while I'm seeing all these scenes happen, I ask whoever is singing or whatever is singing to me, if thoughts create reality, is that also for bad things as well too? And they repeat that song, thoughts create reality. Thoughts. And I was like, whoa. I stood up from my bed and I remember my boyfriend at the time was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, you, this is unbelievable. And there was a wave of like love, of pure love. It was as if somebody was like tapping me on the shoulder and be like, "Do you finally get it? You cannot not see this. This is literally what's happening in your life. You need to change your thinking." And I was like, yo, whoever did this for me, whoever did this for me, like blessed me 1,000 times.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Did you have any type of conversations with anyone while there?
No, no, no,
No.
no. It was just a choir. It was just a
Oh,
beautiful choir that was singing to me. And I was seeing visions of this choir as well too.
what do the visions look like?
They all looked like they were in white robes. It was like a church, a large cathedral church. And it was happy. They were all happy. It was like a celebration. It was a
Wow.
celebration. And it was like, but then the song changed. And the pattern of the song changed to "I am God and there is no other." And it just kept on repeating and repeating and repeating. And then I saw people in my life, then I saw people I interacted with, and then it kept on repeating, "I am God and there is no other." And then I started remembering what I used when I was younger, that we are all one. There's no separation, all one,
That's
no
right.
division. And I was like, you know
That's
what?
right.
This is beautiful.
That's right. What do you think they were actually trying to let you know there? Like when you heard that and the song changed to "I am God," what do you think that was signifying to you, if
I
anything?
I think it was trying to tell me that I am God, to take responsibility for my
Mm.
life. Don't depend on the external world, to focus and take that responsibility back, that power back that I have.
So I do 100% believe that we are one. I really do think that. And so going with that, did it continue for you?
So many strange things happened for me. In the past couple of months, strange things have happened to me. For example, I've had weird, and I talked to Andre, the alchemist, about this
Oh,
because,
yeah,
yeah,
Andre's been on our show, yeah.
Andre, fantastic
Yeah.
guy. I recently talked to him about this. I was telling him how I had, I, I think I believed I went past. So I had this dream where it was pure white. I was in this white room, right? And all of a sudden there's a door opening. I opened the door and I see this Middle Eastern man, this large Middle Eastern man, very tall, and this tiny Middle Eastern woman. Sorry, they're not Middle Eastern, East Indian, East Indian. And I'm just like, I'm looking at them, and the girl smiles and she says, "Welcome home." And I'm like, whoa. But the cool thing about this is that the colors, like I've never seen color like this. It's pure. Like the guy was wearing something that's pure white, and I've never seen anything white like this in my life. And the girl's what she was wearing, her blue dress, was the bluest blue I'd ever seen in my life. I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. After this, I end up in this like seaside town where there's a whole bunch of people. And then this one person comes up to me and says, I'm a thought form. Would you release me? And I don't know what a thought form is, right? At that time. I didn't know what a thought form is. But I'm like, okay, you are released. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. And this other person approaches me and says, where are you gonna go next? And I said, I'm gonna go see God. And as soon as I just said that and I decided, it felt like I was going at light speed somewhere, like a tunnel, whooshing, like straight up. And I see this beautiful red light, and then it transformed in this sort of like circular metallic shape. I've never seen this shape or anything in this place, in our reality. But the one thing I remember thinking was that God is some sort of technology. But after, but I don't really think God is technology. But I think whoever sent me there, my higher self, my guides, gave me that as a message to something to relate. Because I'm a very technologically, I'm more, when I think about technology, it's more about something that can relate to, right? I don't really think that God is tech. That's not how I feel, but I think it was something to show me so that I could relate to God in that sort of way. And I was like, oh, that
So
makes sense.
was that part of your uh plant medicine trip, or
No,
that was a dream?
that was a dream. But
You had
there,
lucid dreaming.
yeah, but
Wow.
I don't think that was more than just lucid dream. I've had lucid dreams, but not this detailed. And the sense of freedom I had, I was free. I was more than free, and I was loved. I felt freedom and love, and I've never felt like that in any of my dreams. And I was talking to Andre about it, and he was like, "Yeah, that's the astral. That's the astral."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Man, this is beautiful." And anything I thought happened. Anything I
Mm.
thought happened.
So I want to get more into that, but I want
Yeah,
to go
sure.
back just a bit so the viewers understand. So you took a um, large amount of plant medicine
Mhm.
and it sparked your spiritual awakening
Yeah,
more than it had.
yeah. I
Like
think
you were already open a bit, but then it just
yeah.
went boom,
Boom.
everything happened. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then so how did that end for you? How did that spiritual trip or medicine end for you? Did you come back from somewhere, or did you just like, I've never done it, so I have no idea
Okay.
what it would feel like. I'm sorry.
Oh, the ending of my 8 gram mushroom trip.
Yes.
Oh, I remember I remember things started getting less fuzzy. You know how like the pattern started less fuzzy and then it pretty much stopped and died down. But the
Neat.
cool thing I remember throughout that trip was that almost in the end, I remember a vision of a being dreaming.
Oh,
So I saw this man dreaming, and he's dreaming of the universe. But he's dreaming. All the characters are in his dream, are part of his dream. It was,
who do you
and
think that was?
that was God. God, it was my higher self or my spirit guides trying to tell me God is dreaming. This is all part of God's dream. And then because he can't do nothing but dream, he's got nothing else to do but dream.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I was like, that's cool.
That is absolutely amazing,
Yeah.
actually. Like, what a profound experience that you had. So then, after that, it really honed in on you. And now you start having all these
Strange.
dreams, out of bodies. I'm guessing that was more like an
Yeah.
out of body experience, right?
Yeah.
Because you contacted Andre. So I'm guessing that that's more like a out of body experience that you had.
Yeah.
So tell me now, how often is this happening for you now?
It's happening. It's probably happening less and less, right? But certain things I'm starting to catch on. For example, a couple of months ago, I had a dream where I was in my parents, it's my parents' home in my old bedroom as a kid. I honestly, I pretty much stayed with my parents a little bit too late. I was in my 30s, early to mid 30s when I left. You know what I mean? Because I came back. I was like, oh, okay, I gotta
Sounds
leave.
like my kids.
Hey,
You
the more
darn boys, you
millennials
know.
are coming back. Yeah, so yeah, I had a dream. I had a dream where I was in my childhood bedroom, and then there was this girl with me, and she was like, "Oh, go back to sleep, right?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep." I decide to close my eyes in my dream, and I'm like, I don't feel like sleeping. And then suddenly realize this is a dream, and I was like, "Oh, this is a dream." And then I was like, "Oh shit, thought forms." Because I know I have trauma, and I know that that there's thought forms that I haven't dealt with, trauma that I haven't dealt with, processed fully. So what started to happen was I saw like things sort of like zombie creatures coming over. Like it felt like, yeah, it felt scary. And as soon as I said that I am God and I choose love, the scene changed. The scene switched. It changed. So I actually talked to Andre about how to handle like negative thought forms from trauma and stuff. And he had a really good thing to say about sort of like letting those things go and it's focusing your direction. That's,
Yeah. So are you working currently on the trauma?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
currently working on to face trauma. I've stopped this is my fourth week of stopping marijuana.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
so this is my fourth
fantastic for
week. So
you. Is that a good thing?
oh, that's a good thing. That's a blessed thing
Yeah.
because I think at first I did it and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this to fall asleep. And then it was just like try to escape reality, trying to escape reality. And now
Oh,
it's like, you know what? I don't need it. I don't really need it. I'm gonna face my problems head on.
I think that's a really good thing to do because it's always good to feel, and if you feel it, you heal it. Honestly, I mean, I go through, I had a very traumatic upbringing.
Mhm.
Um, and I have actually been doing counseling for my whole life. I did it. I never had your alcohol or drug problems, but I learned that feeling it heals it. So I think it's really, really good that you chose this way.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And it's
really do.
you know what the coolest thing about it is that I got a message from because I did mushrooms again recently, and I got a message from a spirit guide. And the cool thing when I do
Mm,
this, yeah, this is really cool. When I recently got the message from a spirit guide, it was as if somebody's using my body to talk to me. It was really cool.
yeah.
And they were telling me like, you know what, you gotta get off the marijuana, gotta get off the drugs and all that. And I was like, at first I was like, oh, maybe it can help me. It can. It's like my guys were saying, no, you're using this as an excuse. It's time. It's time.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, it's time. It's time. I'll
You
put it
know,
down.
I like to hear that you're following that. I think that that is so important for even the audience to hear, because I know that's not easy. It must not be easy for you, to actually face your inner self and your demons,
Yeah.
whatever those may be. Everyone's got them. And I know that that's a hard thing, but I think that you're doing well and you're starting to hear, you're starting to see more. So if you keep going, I'm pretty sure more is to come for you.
Oh my gosh, a lot more. And I'm actually more spiritually attuned now because
Yeah.
I've decided, you know what, no drugs, just me and my meditation. I'm actually more centered now.
That
Yeah.
sounds great. So you do meditation. And when you're in your meditation, do you go off anywhere or see anything?
No, but I get messages. I get contacted by my
Ah,
spirit guide.
okay.
Yeah.
What kind of messages do you get?
Yeah.
If
So
if they're not too personal.
no,
Sorry.
no. For
Mhm.
example, this week, while I was meditating, and I was told to detach and let go of things because for me, I'm always trying to fix the past for my trauma, right? I'm always trying to go. You know what? The crazy thing is though, I think that my higher self and my spirit guides are listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
So before this happened, before I was in meditation and talking to my spirit guide, a couple months ago, I saw myself in a pure white room, holding my own hands, comforting myself. And at first, when I saw this, I was like, and I was crying. I saw myself crying. And I was holding and comforting myself. And I remember holding my hand like this. And I was like, oh, this is freaky. This is scary. And as soon as I realized that I'm actually comforting myself, I walked through a wall. But yeah, I remember I was like, oh, shit, I don't want to be in this room. I walked through a wall. And all of a sudden, the first thing I said was, universe, I feel you. All of a sudden, I saw a beautiful garden and rain was falling down on this garden. And there was all these like apple orchards, like apple trees, small little apple trees with different rows. And I went and I saw the detail of the flower, the leaf of the apple tree, and it was so detailed. And it was the most, this was a blessing. I think, I think what my higher self or my spirit guides are trying to tell me is that to let go, to really fully let go. Because I have a hard time sometimes letting go of past hurts and past traumas, right? And I think that's why they've actually aided me in my spiritual development.
After that experience for you, Johnadeen, how did your relationships and your daily life change after that awakening?
Oh, it changed for the better. I now know that I can reprogram my mind. I could think differently, right? And now I'm less stressed about the future because I now know that like my higher self, my oversoul, God will work it out. He will work out a way because like I am part of him. He is part of me.
That
You know what I mean? Like, and if he's gonna work it out, I can relax and just trust. And
mhm.
I think I'm in the season of the trust, right?
Ooh, I like that. The season of
Yeah.
trust. That's really cool. That's really nice. What does that mean to you?
That means following my intuition, following
Mhm.
God's plan. For example, right now I'm currently trying to look for a new job, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like I'm stressed out. I'm like, oh shoot, like how is this gonna happen? Like when's it gonna come in? Do I gotta do this? Do I gotta take this action? I'm feeling stressed out. I'm like, oh, nobody's calling me. Should I call people? Like, and now I'm just like, you know what? It will be what it is. I have done the work, and what God will deliver will be good for me.
You know what, Johnadeen? You're exactly right. When it is all in divine timing, it is going to come to you. You may have to struggle a little. We all have to, but I know it will come for you. The right thing will come for you, even if it's just a lesson for you. It will come. It will come. You're not going to have to worry any longer. So
Yeah,
you keep just being you and keep doing you because you're a special person
MJ, you got
and
me.
there is a reason for you, right?
Yeah,
There is a reason for you. And having said that, why do you think that you had such a profound experience?
I think I was meant to have the experience. I think for some reason, I got a theory on the higher self. This is my theory. This is what I've actually learned from my guides as well too. Because because sometimes when I did the mushrooms the last time, I was like, yo, this is a bad life, right? And my spirit guide was saying, look, John Dean, we brought you here out of love. You came here for love. That's
Yeah,
your mission. That's your purpose. You're meant to be here. And I was like, for
you
love.
are. Mhm.
So my theory is I'm a writer. And this is pretty cool. This is really cool. I'm a writer. I love writing poetry. I love writing articles, blog posts. I have a theory that my higher self is like a writer, right? So what he does, he creates the story, picks the family, picks the body, picks everything, and he jumps into the body, and then he knows he's got free will, but he set up certain events to happen, just like writers would do. That's certain events, certain checkpoints to meet, and I think my spiritual awaiting was a checkpoint. Like no matter how many choices I would go, I would eventually hit it. No matter how many choices I would decide in my life, I would hit that checkpoint because
I think that sounds pretty accurate.
yeah,
That almost sounds like pre-birth planning to me.
yeah,
So the blueprint of your life there. So you plan these little things in your life, but we do have free will, which we
well,
can veer off and do other things, right? But maybe that experience was to push you back on
the path.
your path, you know?
Yeah,
And like maybe I mean, marijuana use, maybe whatever it was, maybe that was what you needed to have to be able to actually have that other experience to then move you to the path you're currently on now.
yeah, and it's a beautiful path now. You know,
It
I
sounds
still,
like it.
I still feel sorrow. I feel struggles, but you know, at the end of the day, I always remember this quote from my teen years: "To look forward with hope is to never look back in regret." I think that's what
I
I'm.
like
I
that.
think
I
that's
like
the path
that.
I'm going on.
You know, your story is very beautiful. I
Mhm.
really like it. I really like you. I think you're very genuine and honest. And I think that everybody struggles here right now. I think that everyone is struggling in some way or another. Some of us will catch the drift and we will get on our path and we will go, and others it will take a little bit longer, but we're
Mm,
all still going the same way. We're all eventually going to get there and go the same way. So to me, that is just a great thing to know,
yeah,
you know?
I
And so having said that, where have you had any other significant spiritual encounters or experiences? This
mm,
happened a month ago, correct?
yeah,
A month and a half?
yeah.
So you've
I haven't
got
had.
way more to come.
Yeah, I get the feeling that I'm not done.
Oh,
The only the only cool thing that I can attest to is that when I'm alone, when I'm alone and there's silence, I start speaking to my higher self, and it answers back. But it's almost
hmm.
as if the cool thing about it is that it answers back lightning fast. It's like I can't finish a sentence in my head, and then it just automatically knows what I'm trying to say, and then finishes it for me. And I'm trying. I've developed this relationship with this thing, and so what I've been trying to do is compile a book. I've been trying to work on this book.
See, that's interesting because as you were speaking, I was hearing like you're a writer. And I sometimes feel that your true gifts are your true way.
Mhm.
And if that's something that you truly came into this world with and always have liked to do, maybe that is something that you should also be doing.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
right.
maybe maybe that's how you're helping and you're putting your help into humanity or, helping the consciousness shift. All these things could be just by your writing. Some people use their voices, some people use their singing, some people use many different ways, right? But maybe your way is writing
I think it is. I think it is, MJ.
because if that's what you love,
Yeah,
you know,
but you know, I was talking to my good friend Samir, who's a very spiritual guy. I was telling him
mm,
there's really weird things about my life that are just kind of weird. One, I have the idea that I'm a writer. I love writing. I view God as a writer. I live right next to. I live only a couple of steps from a store that actually prints out books.
see? I don't know
And
how much more plain that could
yeah,
be.
yeah. And I was like, and when I got this apartment, I never even thought of that. And
Mm.
actually, and now I've become friends with the girl that actually works in the store. And she was telling me, yeah, she was telling me last week. She was like, oh yeah, we also do books and stuff too, and people come in there and I saw one of the books, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. It's just the way things are set up in my life is just too, it can't be coincidence. It's just too weird. Yeah.
I don't believe in coincidence because that sounds like a total, like, I'm not saying setup is in bad, but I mean, it sounds like this is very set up for
Yeah.
you to notice, like you're noticing. So like you're noticing these things. Other people wouldn't notice that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Because it's something that is for you. That's what it tells me. So you need to stay on that path as well.
I'm going to stay on
I
that.
think so.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
think,
think that you were born to do that.
yeah, I definitely feel like something has awakened inside of me. That something's actually like now guiding me, which
Maybe
I'm,
you're a channel,
yeah,
channeling from your higher self, from God, from Jesus, from anybody that you choose. Maybe you're going to be a channel and write a channel book. So
yeah,
maybe you should think about more of that and write a lot of what you hear down.
yeah. I'm going to start doing that because I do, when I have these conversations with these beings, I'm hearing that. And I don't, yeah, I should just write it all down. Write it all down because I'm always, I'm just always afraid. In fact, that's actually been my crux. And I got this from when I did mushrooms a couple months ago too, as well. From my guides was that like, I'm always afraid of, because there's two big human emotions, fear and love, right?
That-
They're two huge human emotions. I feel like for the most part in my life, I've mostly leaned into fear because I'm always afraid of like, oh, what is this guy gonna think? What's this person's judgment? And I've always been leaning into fear. And now I think that my guys have tried to tell me lean into love, lean into actual love, because love is powerful.
That's
Love is,
right. It's
yeah,
more powerful than fear.
yeah. But I
Love
find,
yourself more.
yeah,
Hmm. And, I understand and empathize with how you feel. Um, because that's the same type of feeling I had when I started this podcast. It was fear. But don't you think that maybe the source, higher self, God, guides will put you in a place that you must face those things
yeah. I
because it's for the best of your good, like the good in you. It's for you.
I truly
Right?
believe.
Yeah, and I think you have something to say. I don't know what you have to say, but
Yeah,
I do believe that you're learning your way. And that was the catalyst, that mushroom trip was the catalyst that broke it open for you. I
yeah,
mean, I think there's a guy by the name of Terrence McKenna who talks about mushroom like awakenings. I think that's his name, Terrence McKenna.
actually, I've
Um,
heard.
bec Yeah, because I've had another guest that had a same thing. Yep. So you might, if you haven't already, you might want to look into that,
Yeah, I
and see if there's any similarities or anything kind of sits with you and goes, "Holy shit, that's it, that's me." Oh my gosh, right? Yeah, your story is very unique, but I would like to know from there, what is Johnadeen going to be doing?
I'm
Where
gonna
are we going from here?
from here. I'm gonna keep writing my book. I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep writing. I don't care. I don't care what other people are gonna think. I don't care what they might think of the content. I just want to keep writing. And I think I'm gonna write just because this is who I am. I'm a writer.
And are you still keeping up with the meditation and all of that?
Yeah, yeah. I actually
Yeah.
meditated before this interview.
Ah, so
Yeah.
did I. That's excellent. Johnadeen, what is it that you listen to for meditation, or do you just sit in peace and quiet?
You know, I sit in peace and quiet, and I
Hmm.
usually have a mantra of I let go, letting go mantra
Oh,
during meditation, and this puts me in a nice, peaceful state.
mm. Do you have any um, messages or a lesson, say, that you would love for others to hear?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from this is that thoughts really do create reality. So if you're
Mhm.
feeling sad, if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling depressed, change your thinking. Change your thinking, you change your world.
Oh, that's 100% true. And how would you say, if someone wanted to walk more of a spiritual path, from your perspective, what advice would you give someone on the tools that they could use to do so?
I think the first thing would be to lean into authenticity because
Mm,
love and authenticity are connected, right? The more authentic you are, the more loving you are. The more love you will get in your life. So I think that's the first thing. Uh, you cannot have deep spirituality without authenticity.
absolutely. And Johnadeen, have you ever had, after all of that, an out of body experience where you got up and looked at yourself before?
No, that's one of the things I've been afraid of. I'm afraid of that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm
Me
afraid
too.
of it. I'm really afraid. I think I've watched near-death experiences where people were talking about, oh, I saw my body. And I was like, oh shoot, I do not want to see that. That scares the heck out. But I did have an out of body experience where I saw myself in my hallway. I was like right here in my hallway. So I'm looking at my door. I can see my kitchen. And I remember the first thing I was like, oh no, 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 no. Because I remembered going to bed. I remember I was like, shoot, I'm asleep. I know I'm asleep, but how am I in my apartment? And this didn't feel like a dream because I felt sort of like weightless. And I'm like, no, 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 no.
You
I
were scared.
was scared. I was scared. I was scared. I feel like that's why I went to the astral plane is because on my soul level, my higher self knows that I'm afraid of like that actual experience. So it just brings me there. Instead of me having to go through and be like out of my body and look at my body, it just brings me there, which is nice.
That's one of my actually fears as well. That is
Yeah.
exactly I don't want to see. There's
Yeah.
two. I don't want to go down any tunnels, and I don't want to have to see myself. Like it's really strange. I just want to go. If something happens, I just want to go right there.
Right
That's
there.
it.
Yeah.
No windy tunnels because I
Oh.
hate roller coasters or anything like that. I don't want nothing like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just as
It's
long as you,
funny.
yeah. I remember. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I was like, oh no, not me. I said no. Yeah, I think if I saw my body sleeping there, I think I'd have a heart attack. I'd be like, oh shoot, these near death experiences was like, oh yeah, I saw my body. It was cool. Like it was like, oh, it was not. I was so detached. I was like, yo, no, no.
Do you think that it's ever something that you'd like to explore?
Oh yeah, I've been doing this out of body experience audiobook. I've
Oh
been
yeah.
trying to get into it, right? So So they say that you're supposed to lie flat in your bed, right? But I lie because I'm kind of a baby when it comes to this stuff. So I put my head lie on my side. I listen to music. I listen to the audio.
At least you're being honest. Like,
Yeah, I'm
that's
being
okay.
honest because I don't want to see my body. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna put it like right there, just to get me off.
Oh my goodness. You know, baby steps.
Yeah, baby stuff.
You'll get there.
I think one of these days I'm gonna because I've had sleep paralysis when I was a kid, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I'm scared of like. So when I was a kid, when I was in my childhood bedroom, I remember like I remember opening up my eyes. I woke up and then I couldn't move. I was screaming for my mom. I was like, "Mom, mom, is anybody here? Is anybody here?" But I couldn't like move. It was the most terrifying thing ever. But I've heard people say that that's like the beginning of the out of body experience, and I'm like, nope, not for me, not for me, not for me.
Oh my goodness. You are hilarious. You are absolutely hilarious. But maybe you'll get there, right?
Yeah, I feel like again, fear. But when we talks about fear, right? I need to get over that hurdle, that fear of like,
Mhm.
you know what? I'm gonna just like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna leave, see myself, be okay, and then probably move somewhere else. I just
I
gotta get
think you will.
that fear. Yeah, and I think I will.
Fear is a little bit hard to get over, isn't it? It's really it was really pushed into us, certain
Mhm.
things. And we were like as a society, as people, we fear a lot of things because we seen them or we were told them or,
Mhm.
it was pounded into us. So it's just like death, people are afraid. They're so scared. Now, had have we had a different learning around death, we wouldn't be like that, right?
No,
But
you're totally
here we
right.
are.
When we talk about fear, I should ask Andre about this because I have a theory. I have the theory that like I'm not the only person that knows that thoughts create reality. And
That's right.
I think that you could also use this for nefarious purposes. For example, like if you controlled the media, you could start putting agendas on TV. You could start saying like these people are bad. You can then start putting you could then change people's perceptions to start thinking a certain way. And the more collective of them thought a certain way, that would start happening in the world.
Well,
I think, go
that
ahead.
is interesting that you said that because just it was yesterday that I was just thinking, I just had a thought about how, because I haven't watched television in over 13 years,
Oh, wow, you're
right?
better than me.
Um, yeah, I don't watch stuff. I choose what I put in my brain.
Hmm.
But one thing that came to me yesterday when I was thinking about my channel,
Hmm.
I was then thinking about TV channels. So I'm thinking them in a way of channeling. They are channeling, it seems, like information out to us, just how you explained it. You
Yeah.
know, like you can tune into, say, my channel. I mean, a ton of different channels that are about spirituality and out of
Hmm.
worldly thinking and experiences, which aren't putting negative things in your mind. But when
Hmm.
you turn on the television, it's a channel that's
Yeah.
putting, you know, negative and fear sometimes into your brain. Do
And
you
as soon
see what
as
I mean?
I see what you mean, and as soon as imagine that, because if we all individually create our own reality, and we do
That's
it
right.
collectively, and
That's right.
if we then have negative things that negative thoughts that are spewing on TV, social media, and even things like politics, negative politics as well, that is shaping our world.
That
And I
is
feel
right now.
that is, and I feel like sooner or later there has to be like a collective awakening to the idea that our thoughts are shaping this place.
I think that we're coming to that. I really do. I think that there's a lot of us waking up. Like, and you can choose to put that in your brain or not. You
Not
can take what fits, what resonates, and leave the rest. That's how I do it. I just take what fits and leave the rest. If I see anything on social media, I swipe.
yeah,
Or I just say, I don't want to see this because I don't want anything getting in my mind. So if we all did that, say, could you imagine
the
what would
world
happen? Like it would
will
be a
change.
different world.
The world would change because I feel like a lot of evil happens because people are afraid. They're afraid of lack of resources. They're afraid of their
Yeah.
neighbors. They're afraid of people sort of immigrants from other cultures. They say, oh, these
Uh,
people might be bad because they're different, but they've been indoctrinated in a certain way. Andre, when I was speaking to him, believes sort of like there has to be a collective of people that know this, that can
that's
reshape
right.
people's minds. And I
And
at first
that's what's happening.
I think that's what's
Mhm.
happening. I had a theory on this,
Oh,
but
it
I'm thinking
is.
this is exactly what's happening.
So there's a lot of people waking up talking about, I'm not just saying spirituality, their religion, whatever they're putting out there that's positive, but there's a lot of people doing it.
Yeah,
And it's just like my channel popping up. Your channel's going to be popping up. There's so many people popping up just like that, that are stepping up to the plate and trying to do their part for humanity. And you don't have to be the biggest, the best to be out there and to get your voice out there and to help people and really mean it.
Yeah.
That is going just one touching one person is helping
Yeah.
one person.
MJ,
Your
you got
story today is helping somebody.
MJ, you got
Like
beautiful.
if you think about that on a bigger level,
Mhm.
it's absolutely beautiful,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, I truly believe that.
So, can we talk about your book or your
Yes.
plans
So
next?
yeah, so my plan is to finish writing my book. I want to finish writing probably mid 2026. I want to launch it on Kindle. Yeah,
Nice.
it's gonna be very interesting, and it's gonna be interesting and also scary and thought provoking at the same time. The reason why I said scary because it's going to be me being so vulnerable, being super vulnerable about because usually I'm very critical about myself, critical about other people's judgments. Being that vulnerable in a book, a spiritual book like this is going to be very interesting.
I think you'll get over that.
Yeah, but I think I'll get it.
And spirit and your guides are helping you do that,
Yeah.
right? Don't be scared. No more. No more fear.
No
None.
more, yeah.
Zero.
Choose love over fear.
Head on. Head on with it. Face it. And how about your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
When are
So
you going to be getting that up and running?
I'll be getting up and running next week. I'm just editing 2 videos. My first video was from a near-death experiencer, but apparently I hate technology. It didn't record properly, so now I have to like either go back and get things moving. But I do have a video with Bree Lafferty. She's
Yeah.
had a near-death
Yeah.
experience. I think she's been on your channel before, right?
Yes, she has.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was
So
great. We had a great time. Mm,
she's fantastic, phenomenal, just a wonderful person. So yeah, I'll be
yeah.
that video will come out next week, and that should be first video for my channel.
And what will your channel be called so I can put all that information in the description below
Yeah, it's called
for you?
the Spiritual Bruv Club.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, so I will put all your links, all your contacts in the description below for sure. That sounds exciting for you.
yeah, I'm super excited.
And the editing, I know, what a nightmare sometimes.
Oh
But
my
once you
gosh.
get it,
Yeah,
you don't forget it. Believe me, I've had some terrible edits like, oh my goodness. And don't do AI editing. Holy, the worst experience
no,
of my life. Oh, it says, oh, we'll help you. We'll help you make it easier. Oh my gosh. Terrible. So I learned that lesson and I'll never do that again.
nice.
But Johnadeen, I'd like to thank you for sharing your journey with us with such honesty and depth. Your willingness to explore the unknown, speak openly about transformation will no doubt inspire others on their path. And it has been a true privilege to have you on the returned.
It's been wonderful.
Thank you.
You have
And
by the
to
way.
every,
Go ahead.
sorry?
I was gonna say you have a
No.
beautiful soul. You've got great
Oh,
energy, and I'm just a
thank you
beautiful
so
soul.
much.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. And to everyone listening or watching, thank you for joining us for another episode of The Returned. Let's keep growing, keep questioning, and honoring our journeys, whatever they may look like. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, stay open, stay curious, and keep returning to the truth within you.